Much has been documented about President McCallister's childhood.
He doesn't know how to be normal.
What is so important about normal?
Normal is what you have to be if you don't want to spend every day of high school getting beat up.
Don't you know there's no second dates for guys who go AWOL before cocktails?
I didn't want to date you. I just wanted us not to hate each other.
So you here with Randy?
No, we broke up. You didn't hear?
Who's that?
That's Missy Belknap. Jack used to go out with her, and then she dumped him to go out with the quarterback, Randy Ballingard.
I'd like to be there, you know, but I'm just not yet.
Don't worry, I'll be around.
As you know, the Challenge program is an alternative class setting with alternative curricula, poetry, linguistics, ethnomusicology, critical thinking, and the like. This program is not for everyone, so not yet, Mr. McCallister. We all start together. Now remember, this test is not about grades. This is only to help us determine who'd best benefit from what Challenge has to offer. Now, open to the first page and begin.
Bobby McCallister did not like to be tested. And the first presidential debate was the biggest test of all. It was the first relevant three-way debate since Monroe, Baker, Harvey. And the country ate up the Morgenthau rivalry. It was great drama. National webcast was predicting 1.5 billion viewers, U.S. and abroad. And I wanted him prepared for every question, every statistic. But it's always what you don't expect.
What do they mean you didn't qualify? How could you not qualify? You're brilliant.
The Challenge program isn't for everybody, Mom.
It's a program for the gifted and talented. Who does that mean if not you?
Probably the freak kids who usually get into Challenge.
So that means I'm not a freak?
It's a step.
You know, I would think you would want the opportunities a course like this could provide. The subjects, the projects, classmates, finally, of your caliber. It could very well be a room full of your future best friends.
But they didn't take me.
You're better off. And Jim, we used to use the Challenge kids as hockey targets.
Don't discourage your brother. Bobby has gifts that require stimulation, the kind of intellectual irrigation that isn't provided in regular classes.
I was okay in regular classes.
Well, yeah, of course, but surely even you can see the value of Bobby pursuing his interests with other like-minded kids.
Whose parents also pushed them into the class.
It's okay, Mom. I don't need to be in Challenge. I like my schedule, and I already know where all my classes are. Plus, I have double lunch on Tuesdays.
This must be a mistake. I should just talk to Mr. Chow.
No. It's okay.
Why? There's absolutely no reason not to
Yeah, there is. He just said he didn't want it.
Fine.
Fine what?
Fine, you win. I won't talk to him.
You promise?
I promise. Well, I simply cannot sit by while you deny my son an important educational opportunity on a technicality. You're saying he was off by what, 5 points? Well, what's the margin of error here? Theoretically, given a test this subjective, couldn't that mean the difference between, say, an auditory and a visual learner? If you ask me, this test is not calibrated finely enough to make those kinds of distinctions.
Well, I didn't devise the test. It's standardized.
Standardized? Don't you see the irony in that? The whole point of Challenge is to offer supplementary learning opportunities to children who are unique. I can't believe that it's never occurred to the Challenge program officiators that brilliance does not fit into neat little categories.
All I can tell you is that I have a classroom of students that did test well, and they take priority. I'm sorry, Professor McCallister, but it's the same every year. We give the test, certain children must unfortunately be excluded. And I have many unhappy parents.
Mr. Chow, come on. We're both educators, right? So we both know that this ostensibly classless society we live in is hardly so when it comes to education. Sadly, but consistently, we reserve our best for our best connected. And once that door is closed, there are few inroads thereafter. Now, all your other unhappy parents with appointments, they may not know this, but I, as a fellow educator, do. And for that reason, I can assure you that I am not going to be leaving this room until you agree to put Bobby into that program. Now, you seem to be a big fan of testing, so let's have some fun. How about you test me right now?
When the question came to him in the fourth round from that punk at the Journal, the governor just froze for 8 seconds. 8 seconds of silence, the camera right in his face. The entire country is watching, trying to decide which one of these guys to hire as the leader of the free world, and for 8 seconds, all they see is a man who freezes under pressure. It was the longest 8 seconds of McCallister's political life, and it almost cost him the White House.
wasn't so bad, Bobby, was it?
December 7th, 1941.
Ask not what your country can do for you.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. We are caught in war wanting peace.
An ever-expanding American dream.
We must go forward as one nation.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
I knew what Bobby looked like when he was nervous, and I didn't want to see that face this close to the debate. So I got him ready. I had him coach 6 ways to Sunday, nonstop facts and figures. The team thought I was wasting his time trying to upload that much information that fast. But I knew Bobby was used to being lectured.
It's interesting to note that while revisionist history is not faithful to the time period it describes, it's quite descriptive of the time period in which it's created, the value of the age, and the school of thought of the person doing the revising. Oh, that's it for today. All essays to Tammy in the back. Hey, congratulations, you made it. Seconds to spare. See y'all next week. How'd they look to you today, Tammy? Bored or just exhausted?
Yeah, they looked into it. Except the one that just ran in. He was pretty winded.
Oh, I'm gonna need these papers graded before the weekend. And I'm gonna need
I know. You were expecting my chapter yesterday.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm behind. I keep getting bogged down after the French Revolution.
Look, I know as well as anyone how disenchanted you can become with your dissertation after staring at it so long, but
it's not that. I am swamped. Professor Heinlein has me translating Italian fascist propaganda posters, and Professor Horstadt just dropped off his latest Renaissance tome that needs indexing. To top it off, my babysitter just asked me if we could make it $6 an hour. Apparently, Kevin's gotten 20% harder to take care of. How did you do it? Get through a PhD program while raising a kid on your own.
2 PhDs, 2 kids. Okay, how about I grade the papers this time?
Really? Are you sure?
We need people like you in the department, and you need some time to reunite with your research. Just bring me your chapter tomorrow.
Thank you, Grace.
Sisterhood is global, Tammy. Don't ever forget it.
Tell me you got -8 grams.
Can't do it.
Any chance you're wrong and I'm right?
Sure, -8%.
Am I interrupting something?
Just chemistry. What's up, miss?
Do you know if they got a band for track bash yet?
I'm not sure.
But you're still coming, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Track bash.
It's this party the team throws every year at this guy Ryan Sieber's house.
Hi, I'm Missy. You're the new girl whose dad's everyone's boss, right?
Had worse reps?
You should so come. It's great. I mean, it's only cool people, so there's no line at the keg. And if there is, it's not annoying.
Thanks, I'll try.
Great. See you Saturday. Oh, Jell-O shots go quick, so come early.
So that's the ex.
How do you know she's my...
Word gets around. So are you really gonna go? Because you should so come.
What's the big deal? You can come hang out with me, meet some of my friends.
I think Missy was plenty.
I've known these guys forever. They're pretty cool.
So cool they didn't tell you about their VIP night?
Sure they did.
So you knew about it?
Yeah.
Whatever, I'm just not interested.
Just so you know, you don't have to spend your whole high school career in a cave just to prove you're not shallow. Catch you later.
No one had a clue whose debate it would be. President Lorio's numbers were deeper in the toilet than breakfast, but he knew how to work a mic. And Morgenthau had that kind of brimstone that fires up the Republican base. And then there was Bobby, who was trying to do something different. And people don't like different.
The orbit around Saturn is elliptical, so 87,000.
Good. You just calculated the spacecraft's periapsis, or its closest orbit. You're late, Mr. McCallister.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find the room.
Class, meet our latest addition, Bobby McCallister. Take a seat next to Hunter. We were just tracing the flight of the Cassini-Huygens spacecraft on his voyage to Saturn. After 7 years of travel and 76 orbits, The Huygens probe will finally separate for its moon landing. And it should be sending back data from Titan as of when?
January?
Close. It's actually on Christmas.
Actually,
Yes?
it's not on Christmas. The probe is going to separate on Christmas, but it won't start streaming data until 21 days after when it reaches Titan.
Really?
Yeah, Huygens only has 3 hours of battery life on its instruments, so it's not programmed to wake up until it touches nitrogen from Titan's atmosphere, I think.
Well, I stand corrected.
You know, that was really cool. We hate Mr. Chow. He's a tool. Where are you sitting for lunch?
And you believe it, President Benedict wants a senior member from each department for a faculty retreat this weekend to foment interdepartmental bonding. Now I have to go all the way to Carruthersville on a bus, no less.
That's what they get for shopping for a president in the Wall Street Journal. But I'm sure you and Benedict will have a swell weekend together.
Truth be told, this retreat bilge couldn't have come at a worse time. I'm behind on all my publication deadlines.
Well, I heard you finished a draft of your latest tome.
I'm still waiting for some pages to be completed by certain assistants.
Are you by any chance referring in the passive voice to Tammy Wheeler?
She's, not with respect to her academic...
She's a disaster.
Really? Why didn't you mention this before?
Given your commonalities, I worry that you might take a bit of umbrage at my complaints.
Oh, you're wrong about that. I take huge, hulking mounds of umbrage. Look around this room. Do you think maybe we failed at all at diversity?
I'm black.
You're from Scarsdale, George. I'm talking about women, and I will not allow this department to continue excluding them. Do you have the slightest idea what Tammy, as a single mother, has to endure just to have the privilege of doing your grunt work? Have you ever cross-referenced a bibliography while changing a diaper? I have. It takes 3 hands.
I sympathize with that.
No,
but
you don't. If you did, you would have taken the time to remember that Tammy's scholarship is tied to her work as a TA. But please, by all means, let's fire her. No, really. And let's bring on another well-connected, unfairly advantaged white male to take her place.
It isn't my desire to see the girl undone, but there is the small matter of my unfinished work.
Make your point.
Well, perhaps all I need to complete the book myself is a free weekend, if I could find one.
I'm waiting.
Ever taken a bus to Carruthersville this time of year, Professor? Lovely foliage. Lovely ride.
How's practice been for the meet? Gareth still have you running stadiums?
Seriously, it's just against Hoover. We killed him last time.
Has he got you in the 800?
Just keeping your spot warm till you get back. You gonna come watch?
Wish I could. I gotta redo this chem lab, or I might as well camp out for summer school now. Anything going on after the meet?
You know, the usual. All about nothing.
It's too bad. You guys been working hard. Seems like you're due for a party. When were you planning on telling me? Figure Sunday when you need some help cleaning up, maybe shoot me an email about it next week. I gotta hear this stuff from Missy now.
The guys said not to say anything. All right, they're pissed.
At me? Why?
Why aren't you coming to the meet?
I told you, I'm good.
Chem lab. Yeah, and before that, it was a math thing, and before that, it was babysitting. Man, you haven't been to one practice since you got kicked off. You've missed every meet.
Sucks being off, man. I thought you'd get it.
Wait, man, I'm just saying. All right, you talk about how you're still a part of it all, how you're gonna be back in a couple of months. Then don't disappear.
Do you know what it's like watching our guys lose races I could have won?
What, like the 800?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. But I also know that if you were running, I'd still show up.
Can you believe the nerve of that man? Mark my words, when the revolution comes, Merle will be the first to go.
Do we have any books about poetry?
We have books about poetry. We also have books of poetry. Why do you ask?
Mr. Chow was talking about someone in class today. Pablo...
Neruda, modern Spanish. Study third shelf, right next to the German dictionary. So, you like your new class, huh?
Sort of. I mean, all the kids are, like, really smart.
Yeah, well, so are you.
Not that smart. They know stuff.
What stuff? Sit.
everything. It's like they know everything that I know and can play the piano. This one kid, Hunter, said that I could sit with him at lunch today.
Right. And is that important?
You have no idea.
Yeah, well, aren't you glad you let me speak up for you now? Remember that the next time your brother tries to get you to disagree with me by peddling cool. Believe me, as commodities go, cool is far more perishable than education or integrity. Speaking of cool, would you please get your brother up here?
Jack!
Yeah, I could have done that.
Why are you packing?
Because the world is unfair and complacent in its unfairness, and because sacrifices have to be made, usually by me, to even the playing field.
Mom has a work sleepover thing.
Yeah, I'm coming back Monday afternoon. I'll leave enough cash and takeout menus to ensure that you don't starve if you budget wisely. You are to behave, and you are to watch your brother constantly.
Wait, I can't watch him. I've got a party on Saturday.
Awesome, where is it?
Nowhere. God, you're like a tattoo.
Cash is on the counter. Bobby gets to pick dinner first.
It's okay. You can pick dinner. I'm easy.
So where'd you used to sit?
I moved around. I mostly eat with the sophomores. You sit with them? Well, my brother's a sophomore, so I'm like automatically friends with his friends.
Well, you know a lot about NASA. Did you go to space camp or something?
Nah, I mostly just fly simulators. My mom thinks that it's educational, so I have a bunch of them.
That's sweet. Can I come play sometime?
Yeah.
Hey, give that back.
So you can finish carving the table? I don't think so.
Come on, Mr. Luis. It's my dad's.
Must be very proud of you today.
It costs more than you make all month. You can't take it.
You want me to go tell the principal that you brought a knife to school? Eh? I didn't think so.
My dad's gonna kill me. Don't worry, I know how to get it back. Right after school, meet at the door by PE. You're coming, Bobby, right?
Yeah, sure.
What?
Let's go study with the jackets today. I promise I'll play nice. Come on.
What about your house? My house? It's not gonna work.
You joining us today? I'm still invited.
Sure.
I don't know. What do you think we should do?
We could do a movie. Yeah, that's revolutionary. How many Saturday nights you want to go bowling? Saturday? What happened to Track Bash? Seaver had to cancel. No nuts left the flyer in the trash. His dad found it. Now Ryan's grounded till graduation and we're out of the party. If you need a place, I got one. My mom's out of town. Are you kidding? Then I guess we're back on then. Thanks, man.
Jack, your house is gonna get trashed.
It won't be that bad. It's mostly just us. You know what? We're gonna go spread the word. All right, hey, come on, let's go. What's your problem?
Just being such a dude about it. I didn't think you cared so much about losing your whatever crown.
I don't.
Right, I forgot. It's for the team.
Hey, don't worry about it. You're not expected to come anyway.
You're busy. I could come back.
That's okay. I actually just finished reading your chapter.
Oh, God, you hated it.
No, I just want to go over some of your arguments. Is now a good time?
Sure.
You make a point here about joint contributions of liberal monarchists and socialists. How did you arrive at that?
I was actually stuck on that point for a few hours, but then I beat my snoot high score and remembered how the workers' insurrection led to unemployment aid, and I figured it out.
Any chance you took the direction for your take from your reading of Faraday?
I probably had him in mind. Didn't I cite him?
No, you didn't. Maybe you should have. And then there's a section here on the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen and Condorcet's attempt to apply it to women's rights. It's funny. Your phrasing reminded me of a piece I read years ago. It was a minor work. Failed feminist movements, something like that. Kenworth. That's who wrote it.
I can explain.
Can you? You can explain how you plagiarized whole passages word for word? Do you have any idea what a violation that is?
It was stupid, I know. I've never done anything like this before, I swear.
Don't. I looked back at your earlier chapters. I found other instances. I am your advisor. You have a problem, you tell me. You fall behind, you give me an opportunity to put you back on track. What did you think you would do when this reached peer review? That nobody would notice? Tell me, what were you thinking?
I couldn't handle it all, and I couldn't tell you I couldn't do the work. You know how hard it is.
Don't play that card again. Not with me. Not today.
Please. Grace, if I lose this scholarship, I don't just need it for my degree. That scholarship is all I've got. It's my income, my housing. If I lost my housing, I'll do whatever you want. I'll throw the whole thing out and I'll start over again. Just, please. Grace. Please.
Sorry to interrupt, Grace, but the bus is waiting to take you to your retreat. I wouldn't want you to be late.
What is this place? Mr. Luis's office.
He's gotta have my knife down here somewhere.
Look, we shouldn't be in here. Why don't we see if he comes back?
Chill, I saw him upstairs mopping up the gym. We'll just grab it and go.
Hey, Hunter, come check this out.
It's a shrine. My maid had one of these in the garage when her dog died.
I think that's the guy his son killed.
What?
I heard his son's in jail because he killed some guy. That's why he's always so mean.
I don't care why he's mean. If he gets me in trouble...
Look, let's just get the knife and go, okay?
Chill out. He can't do anything to us. Let him try.
Come on! Here! Smash that! Hit it, Bobby!
Bobby!
Smash
Hit
it! Go on, destroy it! Just hit it! We'll get out of here!
Man.
Hit it!
Yeah!
Come on, Bobby!
Yeah, hit it! He's coming! Let's go!
Get out of here!
And then came the infamous question. The moderator gives the mic to that guy from the journal, Connors, who's got that look in his eye. Now, I'd prepped him on 100 ways they could come at him, every possible permutation, but the question was as elegant as a bullet. Governor, you are of half Mexican descent, yet at no point in your personal or public career have you ever identified yourself as even part Latino. Is that because you consider yourself white? That was it. 8 seconds.
Perfect crown comes with perfect planning. So everything gets put back in its proper place tomorrow.
Good, because if my mom finds a book out of place, I'm gonna be up for adoption.
Did they ever expel anybody over the weekend, or do they always wait until Monday?
What? Don't you have a friend's house you can go to?
No, not really.
Oh, FYI, Coop wants to know if he can bring the water polo guys. That's cool?
Sure.
How many people are coming to this?
Just the basics.
Is Courtney coming?
Don't worry about the guest list. Just remember your job. If the phone rings, answer it on the first ring. And tell Mom that
Tell Mom that we're watching C-SPAN's election coverage.
And that's it. Keep your mouth shut.
Hey, thought we get in early, man.
Cool. Who are you guys?
Yeah, man, you screwed the pistons. You see? I knew we'd have an actual dinner one of these days.
You just cut the line.
How's the retreat treating you?
Like I had more free time than a zoo animal.
Not a fan?
I'm not much into company bonding. Managerial methods as taught by Camp Wallamaka.
Yeah, I'm just trying to lower a few barriers between departments, open a few channels. Some might think it innovative.
Yeah, well, next time you're worried about faculty relations, consider a capture the flag tournament in the quad and spare us the trip.
Okay, well, then let's say I owe you a drink.
No, that's the least of it.
How about right now? There's a bar across the lobby. Now, don't panic. It's not like we actually have to go anyplace.
I'm not panicked. I just don't want to miss the campfires and the s'mores.
They're not for another hour. Nice try, though.
You can't just abscond in the middle of your own buffet.
Actually, I can. It's everybody else that's stuck here. Come on.
take a good glass from the kitchen. I hope that's okay. I'm over here, Jack.
Sorry. Sure, that's fine.
For a guy who just threw the best party ever, you could look happier.
You just broke up with someone. Shouldn't you be mourning?
I was, for like a whole week. You think we could talk for a sec?
We're talking now.
I mean, alone. Could we go somewhere, maybe?
I can't really just disappear.
It's just, this is like the longest conversation we've had in months. A lot went on between us we never talked about.
You dumped me for a guy you got bored of in 10 minutes, so what's there to talk about?
Just come with me for a minute, then you can stare at the door all you want.
You just knew it was gonna go bad. 8 seconds. Just long enough for people to start shuffling around in their seats, wondering if there was something wrong, if there was a technical problem or what. 8 seconds, and in just 2 more seconds, 1.5 billion people were gonna be dead sure of what I already knew, that McCallister had gone cold under pressure. Nobody was ever gonna vote for that.
Hold on. Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, bring everybody. It's on Wilson. Wilson! You don't know the number? Just look for the one with the dorky kid on the steps. Don't move.
Hey, killer. Get here cruising for chicks?
No, I'm on the lookout. Jack said they weren't coming.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't. Do you know where he is?
No, I haven't seen him.
I'll find him. You stay out here where it's safe.
Hey, Courtney, I just realized Jack left to get some more ice. We ran out. Let's go in the kitchen. You want a beer? We have 3 barrels full.
They're called kegs. Aren't you a little young to bartend?
But we can wait in my room. It's less crowded there, and I could show you my flight simulators. It's totally cool.
Okay.
I thought I knew what I wanted, and Randy wasn't it. And he's a complete moron. I knew in like 5 minutes.
You took longer than 5 minutes to break up with him.
I know, but I was just so mad at you.
At me? Why? You told me, remember?
I only broke up with you because I was tired of guessing what you were thinking all the time. Randy talked to me.
I talked to you.
Oh, yeah. Super chatty. That's Jack. Whatever. If you don't care, I just wanted to tell you that I'm sorry. I wish I hadn't messed things up between us because I thought they were pretty cool. I missed you, you know.
You haven't missed me.
I've been thinking about you all week, and why do you think I invited you? I want to try again.
How do you think I can trust you again after what?
I missed that too. Didn't you?
Who is this? What? To Jack, please, now. Faster.
I can't see him. I think he's on the dance floor.
Would you mind putting down your beer and telling me exactly what's going on there?
It's a party, and it's awesome. You should come. Who's this?
I have to get back home. My son, my soon-to-be late son, is having a party, and I have to kill him. And then I have to explain it to the police, who will understand completely.
You don't want to do that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I do.
That's just because you're angry right now.
No, it's because there are underage alcoholics vomiting in my pantry.
Listen, you can't drive home right now.
Why not?
Look, off the top of my head, a couple of reasons. One, you've been drinking. Enough so that you touched my arm a couple times over there.
I did not.
And even if you didn't, you can't drive home. You don't have a car. And I'm not giving you the keys to the bus. Look, come on. The only thing you're going to accomplish if you go home right now is the complete destruction of your son's social life.
That's an added bonus.
Look, I am not a very good parent by any recognized definition of the word, but it will only make him hate you more.
So what would you have me do?
Well, you stay here, play nice with the other professors. You'd make fun of me from the back row. On Monday, you go home, you check your email, you teach a class, and you break his neck.
And this party, must I let it progress until there's nothing left of my house?
That? No. You call the cops.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Want to fly another round?
No. 5 orbits around Saturn's my limit. I'm gonna make one more pass for your brother and then head home.
Wait, we can play a different game. I've got some maps I can show you. My mom got these ones that have Africa in the middle instead of America. She says it's less Anglo-centric.
That's okay. I should go. I just wanted to talk to Jack really quick.
Why?
I have to apologize.
Did you mess up?
Oh, yeah. I have this thing about saying what I'm thinking without thinking. It's a problem.
That's okay. I messed up too. But not with Jack. I did something horrible.
How horrible?
Pretty horrible. Really horrible. Whatever comes after really horrible, it's that.
That's no good.
Yeah, and it wasn't even by accident. I was just doing what these other kids were doing, and I think I'm a bad person when I get nervous.
Lots of people are.
It's just this was the first time I ever looked forward to going to school. I had my own friends, and I thought that they were cool. But they're not.
Takes time to find friends you like. Gotta try out a few first. Bobby, I'm not worried about you. You're gonna end up with more friends than you know what to do with.
When?
Soon. In the meantime, you got me. When you see Jack, tell him I came by. Tell him I said I was wrong, okay?
Okay.
Courtney. Wait here.
It's okay. Let her go.
Man.
You got my pages. They're the first 2 chapters. I worked the whole weekend nonstop and revised everything. I wanted to show you I could do this.
I haven't read them, Tammy, and I'm not going to. I'm also not going to report you.
I can't tell you how much this
I'm going to
means.
share with you some privileged information. I shouldn't, but under the circumstances. 3 years ago, when you applied to Plain State, I was on the selection committee. Yours was a fine application. It was solid. But we only take 5 PhDs a year, and the competition is fierce. It was down to you and a man named Brian Neville. His writing was more incisive. His coursework was more aggressive. But you were a woman struggling to make it, and he was an unencumbered white guy. See, I've always taken the position that in our pursuit of the best students, we should scale performance to allow for situation and background, thereby allowing the disadvantaged to become the best. But now, when I sit in on those meetings, well, I'll have you to think up.
I know I have a long way to go to earn my place
You can begin by finding yourself a new job on campus because I am firing you as departmental TA. You can also find yourself a new advisor because this conversation will be our last.
I will.
You are being given an opportunity to do better, one that you haven't earned. Try to this time.
Thank you, Professor. You may not know this, but you just saved my life.
Good. And Tammy, listen, next time you meet a woman who needs help, make sure that you give it. Who knows? Maybe she'll even deserve it. Hello.
Professor McCallister, I have Bobby sitting here in my office. Do you think you could come down? I'm not sure how to say this. Bobby has asked to be taken out of the challenge program. He'd like to resume his old schedule.
What? Why?
He says he doesn't think he's up to it.
Is this true? Well, what is it? Are you having trouble keeping up?
Actually, he's been one of my brightest additions.
Well, don't you like the subjects, honey? Because, you know, if they're not spending class time on things that interest you...
That's not it.
Well, there has to be a reason.
Look, I just don't want to be in there, okay? I'm not like those kids.
But you've only been here a week, honey. You're allowed some transition time to prove that you belong. Don't you want to be at the top of your class?
I don't know. But I didn't want to be in there. You did.
Okay. Fine, let's go.
I have to say, I was surprised how important getting him into challenge was to you.
Really? Why's that?
Oh, it's only that you didn't show any interest when we initially offered you admission.
But you didn't offer admission to Bobby. That's why I had to come in here and bludgeon you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant when we offered enrollment to Jack.
To Jack? Why didn't you mention this to me last time?
All due respect, Professor, you don't give people much time to mention.
Well, 8 seconds is a long time. It gave me some time to think. And I was thinking about the last 4 years, about the work I had done and about the work I hadn't done, and it finally hit me. I am going to lose this election to one of these two men. And I looked at them across from me, Morgenthau and McCallister, and I finally thought, I know who I would vote for.
Marcus is picking me up soon. I should be back late.
Hey, Jack, how you doing? How was your weekend? Mine was glorious.
Guess I missed one.
Yeah. Did you get the cops I sent you?
If you want to yell at me, can you do it quickly?
I'm not going to yell at you about your party.
You're not mad?
Oh, I'm mad. How could you not tell me that you were offered admission to the academically talented program in school 2 years ago?
This is what you want to yell at me about?
You scored one of the highest in your class. You had the chance to take a whole slate of courses that would have given you advantages well beyond your peers, and you forged a note saying that I wouldn't allow it?
It was in 8th grade. Doesn't even matter anymore.
But why didn't you tell me?
Because you'd make me do it.
But what would have been so wrong with that?
Because I didn't want to.
You know what? You should have. All this time, I've made assumptions about you, about your abilities. You've always been so intent on appearing ordinary, I began to believe that you really were. Was it so important to you not to stand out?
I thought it'd be easier. It was hard enough already. I had no dad. I had a weird mom who didn't do any of the things regular moms did. I learned to roll a joint before riding a bicycle. Other kids talked about the shows they watched. I could talk about the plight of the Sandinistas. I couldn't even have friends over because I had to make up a reason why there wasn't any food in the fridge. I did what I could. It felt like the thing to do. So what now, am I busted?
Yes, you're busted. Go meet your friends. What? You're gonna stay and show me the stains on the rug? Go.
In my head, the champagne corks are popping. Then, out of nowhere, President Loriot starts talking. He answers the question for him. He says, isn't it enough that a man considers himself an American? Then he goes into some indignant spiel about the dangers of racial divisiveness, pulls the camera over, deflects all the attention, and before I know it, the moment is gone, completely forgotten. Loriot saved Bobby. didn't know him a thing. And still, he rescued him.
Hi. I was waiting to get in trouble all day.
Day's not over.
How come you didn't tell me?
Not much point. Telling only makes more trouble for me. Either you feel bad or you don't.
Oh, I feel bad. Really bad. Even worse today, which is weird because yesterday I felt terrible. I just want to tell you that I'm not friends with those guys anymore.
Good for you.
Can I ask you something?
Don't you have a home?
That thing that I broke, what was it for?
To remember.
Did someone die?
My son. He used to do a lot of stupid things when he was a boy, too. But he grew up to be a good man.
How'd he die?
He was a soldier. He was almost 20. He died last spring.
Sorry.
I don't know if I would call it a rescue. I just felt bad for him. You know, I lost my son Walter in the War of the Americas. He died on the border. And when you lose a son, you miss him at the strangest times. They both had a lot in common. They were both so young, so determined, so optimistic, and they both were filled with that unbridled everything. And in that moment, with the governor stuck there, I guess I just saw Walter, and he looked like he could use some help.